Hello guys, this is Spyderrock and welcome to MINESANITY, my new add-on pack that contains over 30 add-ons. I've been working on this for a really long time, and the add-ons in this pack are made by a ton of different people that I've gotten permission to include in this pack. In today's video, I'm going to be basically going over all of the add-ons that are in this pack, and not everything that you need to know about all of them, but just enough that you can get the general idea. I will leave a link in the description to like a wiki page that I made that does have information and credit to all of the add-on creators for all of the add-ons, including my own. A couple things I'd like to note before we get into this. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. I've been working on this for a really long time. But also, I know 1.17 will be coming out really soon. I'm really hoping it doesn't break much with this pack, but I wanted to go ahead and release it, give it a little bit of time, and then update the pack eventually after 1.17 comes out, if it does in fact break anything. I'm hoping it doesn't, but if it does, I will update it. So I just wanted to go ahead and release this version because this is the one I've been working on. Also, I'm going to be starting a server with this pack on it for channel members as well as myself and my friends, and I will be live streaming that pretty soon. So so stay tuned for that, and yeah, let's get right into the add-ons. So first off, here we have Plenty of Biomes by iCorbin. This is probably the most obvious add-on in the pack. As you can see all around me, I have some custom biomes, and that's what this add-on adds. A ton of custom biomes, some custom structures, new blocks, new animals, as you the panda rolling down there, that's kind of fun. I chose to do my little showcase thing here in this like cherry tree forest, or not cherry tree, what is that called? I can't remember what these are called. Cherry blossom? Yeah, cherry blossom tree forest. There's this like maple forest looking thing, but there's a ton of new biomes. I don't have time to like go in depth on all of these, so I just gotta go overview quick, you know, whatever. But this adds a ton of biomes, which is very cool. It really spices up the world. Next we have Miner's Dream Plus by me. I messed up my words. This is an add-on that adds in some new Miner's Dream items that can really assist you with mining. So I'm just gonna dig down and show you exactly what they do. If I use a Miner's Dream right here, as you can see, it deletes all the stone and stuff around you. We've also got like Farmer's Dreams, which grow crops, Strider's Nightmares, which get rid of lava, Fighter's Dreams, which kill mobs, Gravel Deleters, which, well, delete gravel. We've got Guardian's Nightmares, which delete water, and Strip Miners, which will mine, and then a Nether Dream, which is like the Miner's Dream except for the Nether, and it also gets rid of gravel in the overworld, which is nice. Next up we have Crazy Weapons by me. Also, by the way, I did kind of center this pack around all of my add-ons. It just kind of makes sense given that I made the pack. I feel like that's okay. I hope that's okay. Anyway, Crazy Weapons adds in a ton of new weapons, 25 to be exact, into your game that can allow you to do all kinds of crazy things, like a sword that allows you to throw potatoes, a bottle that will break on impact, although I don't know if it'll break because I'm in creative, a sword that allows you to make mobs freeze, grenades, shurikens, custom enchantments, cool rods that you can use to like blow everything up, hammers that allow you to smack things into the ground. I don't really know. It adds a ton of new weapons though, and it kind of revamps the entire weapon progression. Anyway, next here we have Crazy Tools, also by me. This is kind of the tool partner to Crazy Weapons, which adds in a ton of new tools, new pickaxes, axes, shovels, hoes, everything that you could really need. You've got all these things. You can disable phantoms, you can breathe underwater, you can dash really far, you can get rid of all the weeds, you can suck in all nearby mobs and items to you. Let's see if we can collect some of these mobs. It's kind of funny. You can get haste with custom pickaxes, you can axe what you pickaxe. I don't really know. Disable phantoms or enable phantoms. You can snipe yourself places with a pearl sniper. There's a lot you can do with this. Anyway, next here we have More Gear, also by me. I'm going to showcase a few of mine first. More Gear adds 4 new sets of gear, all completely well, I don't know why it wouldn't be survival friendly. I'm only including survival things in this pack. Anyway, each of these has a full set of armor and one of each of the tools except for hose, because I didn't feel like wasting my time on that. We've got all these new tools though, tools, weapons, and armor, and it works pretty well. I feel like this is going to be the main armor progression of the add-on pack, or the main tool, weapon, and armor progression is you're going to want to get these after you get netherite stuff. So that's kind of like a decently big thing. Then we have Questcraft, also by me. This is an add-on that adds in a whole quest system with new quest trader, villager kind of people that you can find around in as trades from, I believe, wandering traders, and also in some of the structures. You can spawn the guys in, trade with them for these quests. Let me spawn in the collection quest finder as well. You can get the quest, you can fulfill the quest. As you can see, you can do these ones, which will spawn mobs like little bosses for you to fight. And then let me just do a /kill at E to get rid of them. And then when you complete them, you get these loot things, these loots and the payments and things like that, which will give you some pretty good loot when you use them. As you can see, I'm kind of getting stocked up on really good loot. And then you've got these ones, which I have adjusted this a little bit for this pack specifically as well. Anyway, next we have Bossborn, also by me. This is the last one by me in here, don't worry. Anyway, this one adds in 10 new bosses to your game. These are bosses, survival friendly bosses with soundtracks and a ton of custom loot, plus like a little lore book system. You can get explorers logs and find out exactly what you need to do for different things, and then you can spawn things in, and then you can kill them. Hold on. There's some new structures that you can spawn in on your own and then fight the bosses and then kill the bosses and then get all kinds of custom loot things. Like right here, I got this heat blaster thing. There's all kinds of stuff you can get, all kinds of bosses you can fight. Most of them are going to be harder than the Ender Dragon and harder than the Wither. Let me see if I can find this chest. And there's all this new loot stuff here, plus a custom crafting table for crafting the things you need to spawn them. Next up, we have Basic Ores Generator by Cavter. This is an add-on. I hope I said that okay. This is an add-on that adds in some ore generators that you can use to generate ores and other things in your world. They will put blocks above them. It seems a little bit OP, but I will say they are not the easiest things to get. You can place them down, you can mine all the ores, and they do generate everything really that you will need, and it just kind of speeds up the process. Next we have Trees Generator, also by Cavter. This adds in some new tree generators. You can throw them down, and they do take a minute to start working, but once they start working, which I'll just show you in a second, I guess we can move on to the next add-on, but hopefully they'll start working in a second. They will generate everything that the tree of whatever type of tree they are, including the nether trees and mushroom trees, would normally drop. Hopefully it'll start generating in a second. You call it, yeah, like you can get mushroom trees and everything. We also have Crops Generator, which is pretty much the same as Trees Generator, except these generate crops instead of tree loot. Hopefully we should be seeing some tree loot. Also, all these generator things are by Cavter. We also have over here Basic Resource Generator, which this is like the basic ore generators. All the basic generators will generate blocks. Hey, look at that. We're already getting some tree loot here. We're getting some leaves, some logs, things like that. Anyway, these basic ones will generate you some nice little blocks here for you to mine. It's a nicer way to get resources than actually having to go out and collect a lot of them. Once you have gone out and collected a lot of them, you can craft these, which is pretty nice. We've also got Advanced Resource Generator, also by Cavter, which is basically the same thing as like the crop and tree generators, except for normal resources, and you only generate like one type of thing per resource. And these advanced ones also take a second to start generating, but once they do, they generate the items instead of the blocks, so you can have them routed into a system, which is kind of where some of this goes. And the Advanced Ores Generator, also by Cavter, falls into the same thing. Falls into the same thing. You can start to generate. Hey, look, we've generated some sponges, but it also allows you to generate the ores. You can upgrade your basic ores and turn them into advanced ore generator things. We've also got the XP generator by Cavter, which adds in a whole system of XP generators. You can have a custom table that you can use to craft them, and then you can get these XP generators, which if I hop into survival for a second and power this on, you can watch my levels are going to go up insanely fast, but that's because this is kind of like the best one. Let me go ahead and get rid of that though, because I feel like that the noise, the bing bing bing, is going to be annoying. Let me also get rid of some of these, because I feel like it might make my game lag if I have all of these generators constantly generating. That goes for you too, sponge generators. Next up, we have the filters add-ons, which I grouped these all into one chest because they all pretty much do the same thing. Or not all of the filters are here, but there's a ton of filters. For each one of the resources, there is a filter you can use, and you can spawn in the filters. And let's say I wanted to, let me see if I can find like apples or something, or something that I can easily filter out. So I grabbed a soul soil filter as well as a soul soil, and if I drop the soul soil onto the filter, it will pull the soul soil directly below it, so you can put a hopper there and it will allow you to filter out things. But how are you gonna get things on these filters, you may ask? Well, you use something from these filters add-ons, which are the conveyor belts, the solid panes, and the power conveyor. So you throw a power conveyor down, you power it with a redstone dust, and it turns on. Then you can have these conveyor belts, which you can place down, and you can drop items onto that will, oh, well, I dropped it off, but you can drop items onto onto them, and they will get powered and move down down the conveyor, and then you can cover them. That's kind of annoying to build, but you can cover them in these like panes, and you can make some pretty cool stuff. You can make some like tubes and contraptions and have your stuff going through everything. So that is pretty cool. Next, we have Simon's Tool Belt by Someone, or Someone Plays, or Simon, or whatever. This adds in a ton of new variants of all of the pickaxes, axes, shovels, swords, and hoes into your game. These are going to be a little bit more expensive and a little bit better, and give you some really interesting abilities, which I don't know if it will work if I'm in creative and not in survival. But let's see, where are they? Where are they? They're in this chest, right? Let me grab, like, say, the shovel, see if I can make this work. Yeah, so as you can see, it will like mine all of the dirt here, which is pretty cool. And you can kind of exploit them to get into Bedrock a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. And you can mine things really fast and mine a lot of them, but they do break pretty quickly. But it's still a pretty neat thing to have, and they have like all recipes, durability, enchantability, all that. Next, we have Havoc Biplane by Not a Big Gamer. This is an add-on that adds in a plane that you can use to traverse around your world. If I spawn it in, as you can see right here, we have a Havoc Biplane, which you can craft the spawn egg, and you can fly around, which I feel like this goes really well with the biome add-on, because you can, there's a lot more biomes, so if there's a biome you want, it's going to take a while to get to it, so you can just make a biplane. But also, if you have TNT, you can drop TNT from the biplane, and if you just like drop it like normally, you can blow everything up, which is pretty cool and very satisfying to blow up this like little cool looking pink forest here. I probably spawned in too much TNT and now I'm kind of lagging. They do lag a decent bit. I don't know, I kind of messed something up, I think. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that plane. Something's up with that plane right now. I think I probably shouldn't have dropped that much TNT into my world. Anyway, next up here we have the More Simple Structures add-on by iCorbin. This is an add-on that adds in a ton of simple structures to your world in all of your biomes. This is the same person that did the biome add-on. I had a teleporter set up here to one of my favorite structures, which is this like little abandoned, like rundown, some kind of dungeon tower thing. And you can go up into all these structures, which will generate everywhere. There's dungeons, there's towers, there's all kinds of things. Is this a village or is this just, okay, I think this might be one of the structures. It's just like a rundown one of these places, church or whatever these are called. Anyway, this is a pretty cool add-on. It adds a ton of structures. Of course, they're not all going to generate in the same place, but there's a lot of like little structures that you can find around, just little like little rocks and things as well. But there's like hundreds of structures. It is pretty cool, and it does really give you a lot to explore. But let me go ahead and teleport back if I can find my little button right here. Anyway, next up here we have the Nether Plus add-on by TwitchTube. This is an add-on that adds in a ton of new mobs for your nether. So I don't have a nether portal set up right now. I probably should have, if I'm being honest, but I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some of these from the inventory, because there are a lot of mobs to work with here. We've got, you know, basalt blazes, we've got mushroom twisted pets, bloody meats, crimson black mushrooms. I don't know, we have all kinds of stuff here for you to mess around with and fight and become friends with in your nether, and I don't think these guys are in good terms. This, oh man, poor mushroom that dropped rotten flesh for some reason. Let me do a /kill@e to get rid of all these guys. But this is a pretty cool add-on. You're gonna have a lot more life in your nether. Anyway, next here we have the Soul Magic add-on by Llama Studios. This is an add-on that allows you to essentially craft like mob spawners and craft spawn eggs to get mob spawners. I'm not gonna go completely into it because you're probably gonna have to read the page for this one, because this is like a pretty deep add-on. There's a lot to it. You can spawn in infuser cores. You can put, oh, I put that in the wrong place. Can I place this down here? You can get pedestals, which you can place down to fill this up, and then you can like place things. Oh, I just spawned a little soul guy. Well, you can fill these up with like sparks and then put in soul jars and generate all kinds of like all kinds of spawn eggs and things, and it's really cool. There's like a whole craft to it, like it's a whole process, and it's really interesting and fun to do. Next up is Llama Forges, also by Llama Studios. This is an add-on that adds in a whole forge system. Yet again, this is another really deep one, another thing that you can do to really like go into like all kinds of enchants and stuff. So I'm not going to grab everything here, but I'm going to do like a little demonstration. You get assembly tables and casting basins and melting basins, and all of them actually come with little books when you spawn them in that can give you basically a tutorial, so you don't have to look at their website. I'm not hopping to survival though, because you can grab, say, this casting basin. You can grab all these things. You can put a lava bucket in here and a diamond, and you can get a bucket of molten diamond and then turn that into diamond legging base, and then you can like shift click through here to get different things. Let's see if I can get leggings. Yeah, and so I have one of the things I need, and you can get like diamond iron leggings, which give you different enchantments, or diamond gold leggings, which give you like protection. It's pretty cool, and there's like a whole like, I don't know how to really describe it, but it's really interesting, and this is definitely one that I would recommend like looking into. Next we have Return Anchors by Psycho SoFi. This is an add-on that adds in basically like the equivalent of a slash home system, except even cooler, but also a little bit less convenient. So you can get return anchors and totems of returning. You put down a return anchor, and I believe crouch and right click. Yep, there we go, and I got return point updated. Then I hold out my totem of returning, and I can go say wherever I want, and then I can just use it. If I just hold down the totem for a little while, then the thingy runs out, and then I get teleported back to my little return anchor. So if you have the plane maybe, and you go out like 20,000 blocks and you don't feel like coming home, you can just make a few totems of returning and just use that and go back to wherever you have your home set to, and you can just get teleported right there, which is pretty cool, pretty interesting, pretty swag. I don't know why I just said that. Next we have Salvage by Derpy Boy. This is an add-on that allows you to salvage a bunch of things, including some stuff from some of my add-ons, which is actually really cool. But I'm gonna grab a few swords just to show you exactly what the salvage add-on does. Hop into survival. You can get these metal crafting tables, which you can craft all of the parts you need for the salvage stuff in, and then you can get a salvage crusher eventually, which allows you to salvage things. So I can say throw my I don't think there's a salvage for the evil slayer. Okay, well I can throw my diamond sword into here and craft a diamond and a stick from that, put the gold sword in, get a stick and a gold ingot, put the iron sword in, stuff like that. And I believe some of these things you can, like as you can see, some of my add-ons do have support. I don't think this add-on necessarily does, but crazy weapons, you can turn the honey sword into a honeycomb. You can turn from crazy tools a snorkel into bamboo, stuff like that. That is pretty interesting, and there are a couple more add-ons other than mine that it does support, but not ones that I have in the pack. It is still pretty cool though, and I definitely think it's a good add-on considering it's one of their first add-ons, I believe. Next up here we have Astro Lucky Box by Effect 99. This is a lucky block add-on basically. It's just a pretty basic lucky block add-on, but it is a very cool, very nice lucky block add-on. You can craft lucky blocks, you can break lucky blocks and get lucky loot. That's not what I meant to do. And get lucky loot. Hey, we got a pig. Hey, I'm looking for bad things, but we're not getting them. You can also get Astro Lucky Blocks, which are like cooler lucky blocks, which give you different drops and have different events, and some of them don't have events, or yeah, I don't really know what that was. I got a horseman and that one didn't seem to work, but most of these do work. Hey, I got jump boost. Oh, that's a lot of jump boosts. Okay. And then, you know, you can get enchanted books. There's like different structures that spawn. There's creepers. That's a lot of creepers. Jeepers creep. You know what? I'm just gonna deal with it. Okay. Next here we have New Adventure Plus by Guardian Deep. This is an add-on that adds a handful of new mobs to your world, and some new items to go with them as well. You've got a bunch of new hostile mobs, a bunch of new peaceful I can't speak. Anyway, you can also get things like piglin cauldrons, which look cool, and cookies, among other things. But you can also get like red phantoms, which it's daytime, so it's gonna burn. You've got beach crabs, which are gonna hang out in beaches and in the ocean and vibe. Got brute endermans in the end that are like really, really tanky endermans. You've got drowned skeletons, which will spawn underwater. I even saw one of these around here somewhere. Hey, there's a couple drowned skeletons right here. You've got endermares, which are like end phantoms that do not burn, so maybe don't let them get into your overworld if you could figure out how to do that. You've got basalt worms, which are cool worm guys, just kind of hang out in the nether, I believe. You've got brown spiders, which are cool spiders, and white endermen, which I don't even know what their deal is, but it is a really neat add-on. I think I might be missing some stuff, but I recommend exploring your world just to see what you can find. Anyway, next year we have the launch pads add-on by Psycho SoFi as well, and this is an add-on that adds in some launch pads to your game that you can use for easy and quick traversal. So you can throw down a launch pad, use it, and then launch over to wherever you want to go. You can get different upgraded versions of launch pads, which are pretty cool. You can get like Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV, and then Mark V, which take you insanely far. Like, look at this. That's like insane. I think it just blows up, but like doesn't deal damage with the explosion. So you can really go flying, and even I think if you like jump up when you're using a launch pad, oh, you can kind of go up, but I kind of messed that up. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, well, I'm not really doing it well right now. I got to get back because we've got like one more thing to do. And the last one here, the last add-on that is included in this pack is something that was kind of a last minute addition, but someone on my Discord server actually contacted the people who made it and asked if it could be included in an add-on pack, and they said yes. And this is the Dungeon Expanse add-on by Warhead and Psycho SoFi. This is a really cool add-on that adds in randomly generated large dungeons like this one here. You can find these in like I think I want to do a whole video about this, or at least include it in a video, but I'm going over it for a minute here. It makes these like roguelike style dungeons that spawn around your world. Hey, we found some zinc ore, you know, that's gonna be kind of useful eventually. But yeah, these dungeons that spawn in that you can go down to the depths of, and they're just really long, really big, randomly generated dungeons with randomly generated loot. And hey, these have, I literally got a summon quest vendor from one of these loots. Like it's really cool. You can get all kinds of like default loots, and there's like custom loots and trap rooms and cool chests, and you can get pretty much anything in them. They're like really neat dungeons. They're really rare though. There's like a 1 in like a few hundred chance that one will spawn in a chunk, and they have to be in, I think, plains, biomes, and deserts. Anyway, that's it for MINESANITY. There's a link in the description where you can get this add-on. I will be setting up a server with it eventually, pretty soon actually. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you made it here, I spent a lot of time on combining the stuff in this pack and making at least my part of the add-ons in this pack. So please, I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys later, and bye.